Imagine the darkness. Imagine years of absolute silence. Then, suddenly, a young man appears out of nowhere, right in the middle of a busy square. He has no idea who he is. He can't speak. The year is 1828, and Germany is about to confront its greatest mystery, a living enigma. His name is Kaspar Hauser, and he came from a place no one could explain. This is the case that shocked Europe, where the truth is far more frightening than any fiction. Nuremberg, Germany. May 26, 1828. A boy looking about 16 years old is found stumbling through the streets. He's dressed in rough peasant clothes and can barely walk. His gaze is vacant, dislocated, completely perplexed. He doesn't speak. He only stammers out a single bizarre sentence. "I want to be a knight, like my father was." In his hand, he clutches a note, a mysterious letter addressed to a local military captain. The letter claims his name is Kaspar, and that he has been kept completely isolated from the world his entire life. The whole city buzzed with questions. Was he some kind of human experiment, or something else entirely? The world stopped to watch. Eventually, with great difficulty, Kaspar manages to speak. And the story he tells is surreal, shocking. He describes a lifetime spent in a hole, a tiny, dark cell. No light, no human contact, just him, a small wooden horse, and the crushing monotony of an endless existence. Every day, bread and water would appear. Who fed him? A mysterious man whose face he never saw, a figure who remained forever unidentified. It was this man who taught him to repeat that single phrase about being a knight. And then, just as suddenly as his captivity began, the man set him free in Nuremberg. But was this incredible story true, or was it an elaborate trick? Almost overnight, Kaspar became an international sensation, the child of Europe. Everyone wanted to see him. Scholars, curious onlookers, even royalty. He was put on public display, almost like a circus attraction. For scientists, he was the perfect experiment. What does total isolation do to the human brain? How is language really constructed? Kaspar was seen as a pure, naive being, an untouched specimen. But this intense interest came with a price. He was given a new life, welcomed into a home with tutors who tried to educate him. The challenge was immense. They had to teach him how to read, how to write, how to speak. Kaspar was essentially a baby in a teenager's body. He would cry uncontrollably at the sight of fire. He didn't understand the concept of pain or sadness. His mind was a blank canvas, and he had to build his entire world from scratch, word by word, gesture by gesture. His progress was slow, but it was real. This fragile peace, however, did not last. The intense interest surrounding him soon turned into a direct threat. Just a year after he appeared, the first blood was drawn. In 1829, Kaspar was found with a deep cut on his forehead. Who did it? The attacker was never caught. The description Kaspar gave was hauntingly familiar. A mysterious man dressed in black. Could it have been the same person who held him captive? Or was Kaspar lying? The poison of doubt began to spread, and the mystery only deepened. It was then that the most explosive theory was born. What if Kaspar was a stolen prince, a secret member of the royal house of Baden, an heir who was switched at birth and hidden away to be eliminated from the line of succession? This would explain the years of isolation and the violent attacks. It would mean that a royal secret was at the heart of this mystery, a secret worth killing for, the price of a throne. All of Europe was divided. Was Kaspar a cunning beggar, or was he a legitimate heir to a royal dynasty? But there was a skeptical side to the story. Many people doubted him. The tale seemed almost too perfect, too sensational. Was Kaspar a manipulative genius, an imposter who created this entire persona? Some whispered that he had faked the first attack himself, just to keep the public's attention and revive interest in his case. Was he desperately seeking fame, or was he just seeking pity? The doubt lingered in the air, and the truth remained hidden behind a thick veil of secrets. Haunted by these events, Kaspar was moved from city to city, changing tutors and living under constant surveillance. The life of a celebrity exhausted him. He tried his best to adapt, to learn the ways of the world, but he never truly fit in. He was a fish out of water, and his very presence was a constant, uncomfortable reminder of either profound human cruelty or his own masterful deception. He lived this way for 5 years, 5 long years under a microscope. The year is 1833. The city is Ansbach. It's a cold, icy December. Kaspar is lured into an ambush. He was promised new information about his origins, a chance to finally learn the truth. There, in the castle gardens, an attacker was waiting for him. A sudden blow, a sharp stab to the chest. The wound was fatal. He managed to stumble home but would die 3 days later. He was only 21 years old. The enigma of Kaspar Hauser was about to be buried with him. In the garden where he was attacked, the police found a small bag. Inside was a note, cryptically written backwards on a mirror. It was signed with the initials, MLO. It was a weak clue, but it was the strongest one they had. Who was MLO? The killer was never identified. The crime remained unsolved. The mystery of Kaspar Hauser died with him. Or did it? Years later, modern technology tried to unravel the secret. DNA tests were conducted on bloodstains from his clothing, attempting to match them with the royal house of Baden. The verdict was a bombshell. He was not the Prince of Baden. But does that really end the story? Does that make him an imposter? The truth has never been fully revealed. He lived in near total isolation for 16 years. He was brutally murdered at 21. Whoever he was, Kaspar Hauser's story forces us to ask profound questions. What truly defines a human being? What happens to a mind that is deprived of all contact, of all society? Was he a victim of the unspeakable cruelty of a kidnapping, or was he a victim of the cruelty of the very civilization that found him and put him on display? One man, one question, a mystery that has endured for nearly 200 years. His story still speaks to us today. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey into one of history's most fascinating unsolved cases. If you found this story as captivating as we do, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the unknown. We'll see you in the next video.